Welcome to The Vinyl Guide, the podcast for record collectors and music nerds. Here's your host, the biggest record nerd of them all, Nate Goyer.
Well, hey everyone, it's Nate. Welcome to episode 507 of The Vinyl Guide, the podcast for record collectors and music nerds. And ladies and gentlemen, this week, I'm so proud to be sharing this. It's a conversation with two of my heroes, Bill Stevenson and Milo Aukerman of Descendents. And we cover a lot of ground today. We talk about new recordings, Descendents tour. We get an update on other projects like All, Flag, and more. But a huge focus is going to be on the official band-sanctioned reissues of the Descendents catalog, starting today with Milo Goes To College. Vinyl is available for pre-order at orgmusic.com. And something super cool for vinyl collectors, there is an extremely limited punk note version of Milo Goes To College, which has bespoke artwork and design from John Yates at Steelworks. I love these things. The punk note records use the design aesthetics that make it look like a 1960s Blue Note record. These are super limited, so if you're into record collecting, I suggest you grab one at your earliest opportunity at orgmusic.com. And dear people, this is just the beginning. In the very near future, we're going to see reissues of other Descendents albums like I Don't Want to Grow Up, Liveage, All, Bonus Fat, and more. Now, all this reissue news is very important because for many years, big sections of the Descendents and All music catalogs have not been under the control of the band, and their availability on the market was pretty inconsistent. It was hard to find official copies of these extremely important records, which meant that a lot of unofficial versions were flooding the market. So if you've bought a copy of Milo Goes To College in the last 20 years, there's a pretty decent chance you have an unofficial record made from a questionable source, and of course, little if any money went to the artist. So now you can finally enjoy Descendents music and properly support the band and hear them as they intended it to sound. And again, you could right the wrongs by getting your copy of Milo Goes To College today at orgmusic.com. And finally, there's an extended version of this conversation only available at patreon.com/vinylguide. That's where I put extra stuff up there for supporters of the show, including this interview. Milo, Bill, and I are nerding out on an interesting Descendants artifact that I recently acquired. So please, if you don't already, consider becoming a supporter of this show at patreon.com/vinylguide. You get extra stuff, you get high-resolution audio, and you help keep this show going. And that's not nothing. So head up there now, patreon.com/vinylguide, and we appreciate the support. All right, enough of the jibber jabber. Let's get on the horn with Milo Aukerman and Bill Stevenson and talk about all things Descendents. Bill, Milo, thank you for making the time. Before we get into the record, Bill, Milo, just a quick health check. How are you guys doing? What's happening with you guys health-wise?
You go first, Milo, since you had the most recent thing. You go first.
Well, I think we're both pretty healthy. I think Bill's he's kind of healthier because he's been going to the gym. I don't even go to the gym, so but we're both healthy. Yeah.
Yeah, Bill's looking leaner. Very good. Yeah. And Bill,
why you got to make it about being fat? Like why you got to go there? You know?
I'm just saying you're looking sharper, man. More aerodynamic.
I'm teasing you. You know I'm teasing you, right?
Of course. So your health's good, Bill?
I'm right? Solid. Yeah, I'm solid. I've really been working my butt off in terms of nutrition and exercise. The whole package, all of it, the supplements, all the boring stuff that, so yeah, I've noticed just a massive uptick in my kind of just general ability to live life. So, 'cause I've been working like pretty hard for about 3-4 years on it. But then in the last 2 years, I've been working really hard, just punishing myself just to try to not get sick. I don't want to get sick anymore. I've been sick enough. I've had 3-4 brushes with death. So now I just want to kick ass and,
Is coffee still on the menu for both of you?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, just want to make sure the pendulum didn't swing too far the other way.
Coffee's good for you anyway. So what?
Yeah.
Yeah, the science is on our side with this one.
Ah,
Definitely.
very good. And that's coming from a scientist, so you can trust that statement. Just what's your advice for listeners who are getting older and letting themselves go? And I'm asking this for a friend.
Oh, Bill, you can answer, or should I
I don't.
answer?
Well, I don't really know because each person's kind of has their own little battle to you know everybody's life's different. People have different goals in life and different health possibilities, and so I think people should just do whatever they want. I just decided I wanted to focus on kind of what I stole this from a book I read, but I'm kind of doing the centenarian Olympics. So I'm trying to be able to live to 100 and to not have my kids like changing my depends. So
Right.
I'm a lot of the exercises I'm doing are simply to be able to take care of myself into my old age.
Mm.
Yeah, this book I read had this whole chapter called The Centenarian Olympics.
What I would say to people is that you want to be able to enjoy yourself as you get older. I mean, you ought to be able to enjoy yourself even more when you get older because you're not having to freaking work. But in order to enjoy yourself, you got to be in good health. I think the thing is what we do with our music is that the only reason we're doing it is because we have so much fun doing it. It would stop being fun if I wasn't healthy. I'll tell you that much. I mean, a lot of times bands break up because some person just, I can't do it anymore. Well, that's why we're staying healthy, just so we can keep doing it, basically.
Yeah, and you feel a big difference in your performance before and after your heart incident.
Well, I actually felt like I had lost a little wind. And there may be no science behind it, but I felt like once they put a stent in there, and once I got back and started, kind of getting back into a good state of health, I felt like I had more wind. And as a singer, that's really important. So yeah, I do feel like I turned the corner on that, and well, dodged a bullet because I didn't die, but turned the corner and really worked on my health after that. And it definitely helped out, on stage for sure.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
but I have to interrupt. I mean, to be clear, Milo's always been the healthiest of the four of us. Milo's been a runner his whole life. He was in cross country in high school. He played hockey as a kid. He's always been the most active, the most athletic, going on the bike ride, going on the walk, going running, down in the treadmill in the basement. So that heart attack was like
Blip,
really
yeah,
weird because
yeah.
if you would have looked up Googled which descendant is not going to have a heart attack, it would have been Milo. He's always been really really healthy, so that came as a big shock to all of us.
Except that I had the family history, so
Yeah, but I think we
can't.
all do. I mean, I do.
Yeah, it's hard to beat the genetics.
well, it's great to hear you guys are doing well and looking towards that centenary of the 100-year mark, and
Centenarian, the centenarian decathlon. Yeah.
Very good. Well, I look forward to seeing you guys in festivals in 2050. So enough looking forward. Let's look back. Milo Goes to College, the reissue. This has been a long time coming. What's the story of this reissue series?
The short story is we we regained the rights back to a lot of our back catalog, specifically all the stuff that had been released on SST originally. So we're just re-releasing them now. Now that we have the rights to them. That's really it.
Okay. All right. Now, in this series, we're starting with Milo Goes to College, but the rest of the Descendents catalog will be coming in the relatively near future?
Yeah, all the ones that were on SST. Bonus Fat, Milo Goes to College, I Don't Want to Grow Up, Enjoy, Descendants All, Liveage, Hallraker.
Okay. All of them coming.
Yeah, I think they're going to be coming down the pike, maybe, kind of at a brisk pace.
Now, let me ask you, is the phrase coming down the pike or coming down the pipe? I've heard both.
Well, the pike is
Road.
a short for like a turnpike or just like a pathway, but the pipe also coming down the pipe, I think probably one of them is the correct way, but I don't think either of them are errant. What about this one? What about chomping at the bit versus champing at the bit?
I think it's definitely chomping. What's champing?
Well, so look it up and get back to me.
I will. I'll have my people call yours.
I think what it is the Brits came up with it and they said like chomping, uh, like chomping, but with an A.
Oh, okay.
And then we turned that into chomping, like biting. But I don't know.
I think
Look it up.
It's chomping because it's a horse that's chomping at the bit because it's the bit. I would think
I
so.
spent my whole life thinking it was chomping with an O. Yeah.
Wow.
I spent my whole life thinking that. So
Okay.
let's go with that. Let's go with that.
That's a life well spent, Bill.
I like it on Sonny and Philly, and then Charlie will go, yeah, let's go with your thing. But he knows their thing's right and his thing's wrong. But he goes, yeah, we'll do your thing.
Charlie's the best. So in these reissues, is there any changes, any alterations? For example, Milo Goes to College, the first pressings of that had a lyric sheet, a flyer. Is that going to be included in the new series?
Yeah, the flyer, the lyric sheet and the flyer is in there. The reissues they're exactly exact. But then those punk note thing, which is kind of a riff on, the Blue Note label, those are obviously going to be different visually, but the musically, sonically, they're the exact same. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. And in this change of ownership, did you get the all stuff back, the stuff that was on Cruise?
Not yet, but we will.
Got it. Are there any recordings that exist then after this agreement that you guys don't have control of, don't have the rights to?
Well, like Epitaph owns Everything Sucks, and Hypercaffeine Spasmate, Ninth Walnut, and Fat owns Cool to Be You.
Mm-hmm. Is there going to be any changes with the Fat handover?
I don't know. I have to look into that. One thing I think is that, that record was under recouped because they gave us massive advance. Mm-hmm. And I want to say that part of the sale of Fat to Hopeless was that all the bands under recouped records would be recouped at that moment, and they'll all start getting royalties as if they were recouped. So I think that's going to work out to our advantage. We're going to start getting royalties on an otherwise unrecouped album.
All right.
I haven't read the fine print, but that's the scuttlebutt I'm hearing.
Right.
Which would be tremendous in our case because the advance was massive, so it was massively under recouped.
Okay. All right. Thinking back in the day, what was the band's experience? Because this album was recorded with New Alliance. New Alliance was the original issuer of the record. In 1987, I think, New Alliance, that catalog was handed over to SST. What was your experience during that?
None. We were all like best friends, all like sleeping on the same floor, the same practice rooms together. It wasn't such a, it wasn't a businessy thing. It was like, instead of, we're not dealing with Mike Watt now, we're dealing with Carducci. Okay, fine.
Right.
Same.
Mm-hmm. And were you around for much of this, Milo? I know you had gone off to college.
Well, I was in the know about, when SST, got purchased, New Alliance, that kind of thing. I guess I was still in the band at that point. So yeah. But like Bill said, it was just kind of like, oh yeah. I mean, Watt and Ginn, their history goes way back anyway. So it was just kind of like a seamless of an exchange, basically. Yeah. As far as I could tell from the outside, but yeah.
The South Bay punk scene was a really, really tight community. I mean, I can't think of a more tighter community. So yeah, it was all just kind of at that point, kind of handshake deals among friends.
Mm-hmm. With this new reissue series, regaining the rights, were there any tapes? Were there any master tapes or multi-track tapes or anything like that existing from the day that was part of this handover?
That might be beyond the scope of this conversation.
Okay. Okay.
I,
Well, like one of the people that would be involved in such conversation is pretty trigger happy when it comes to being litigious. So
mm,
I don't want to speak, you know, about that.
Yeah. And I don't want anyone to get in trouble. And I understand this is a landmine of potential drama.
Yeah, and there hasn't been any drama, so let's keep it that way.
Okay. All right. So there may or may not have been a master tape involved at all.
Well, there's a ton of master tapes, but they've all been in the hands of various people, not least of which, so the label SST, and then me, the band, and I own a recording studio, and then Spot, the producer. Things were informal back then, so it's kind of like asking where the tapes are is like that game of who's on first.
Okay.
who has the Holy Grail?
So do we know if the multi-tracks exist somewhere?
Didn't I just say I don't want to talk about this?
Okay. Okay.
Okay, no, I mean I thought I was clear.
Okay. All right. I don't mean to offend. I
No,
don't
you're
wanna
not
get in trouble.
offending me. It's just it's not discussable right now.
Now, again, guys, forgive me if I ask a question that goes into sensitive territory. I don't mean
No,
to.
no, no,
offend.
you're fine. I can't answer those tape questions because I can't answer them right now.
Fair enough. In terms of the reissues, will we see a reissue of the Fat EP? Will there be a 7-inch, or is this going to stay kind of in bonus fat territory?
I think bonus fat territory is good enough, but who knows? Maybe we could do a fat EP and maybe do a Ride the Wild. I don't know.
Okay. So Ride the Wild is potentially part of this as well.
Well, the bonus fat is the Fat EP plus the Ride the Wild Hectic World 7-inch.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Okay. So
Yeah. So I figured that's fine.
Ride the Wild's always been your property. What you controlled, Bill, yeah?
Well, no, when we did bonus fat at that point, SST gained the rights to it there, but we gained them back.
Okay. And in terms of the repackaging, the artwork is the same. The drawing from Jeff Rat Atkinson.
Every single thing is like exactly the same, except for the punk note ones that has a different, fun look to it. Think about those old Miles Davis records and all that sort of thing, or whatever. Lester Young, or I don't know.
I love how they do
Whoever.
those.
Yeah.
Milo, you have in the last few years retired from the regular work and done full-time Descendents in music. Is that as I understand?
Yep.
All right. And how's that going? Are you enjoying your retirement?
Well, yeah, I think it got to the point where I wanted just to do the fun stuff and not do the lame stuff. And the lame stuff turned out to be the working for a mega corporation and not really having any autonomy. So
Mm-hmm.
once I'd taken one too many kicks in the rear at that company, and I just decided, well, they laid me off, but I could have stayed in science. I could have moved on to a different science job where they kicked my rear there too. And I just thought, no, never mind. I'll be a musician. It's time for me to actually, have a career as a musician. So that was in 2016.
Yeah. While you're young, do it.
Yeah. Yes. So strange. Yeah.
So is Descendants a full-time thing for you, for both of you?
Well, you can't tour 365 a year because you blow your brains out. But we tour at a frequency which means that no one's going to have some other job because we want to go tour. And so that's kind of where it's worked out to be a full-time job in the sense that, I'm not having to kind of make up any kind of salary somewhere else.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. It's full time, but it is inherently seasonal. So, last year we played around 90 shows. So that's commensurate with what we used to play when we were young. But this year I think it'll end up being more like 70, 65, which that 90 was a little bit, that was a lot last year. We were really going and going and going. I think I like 70 better than 90 as far as like total shows in 1 year.
Mm-hmm. And Bill, does Blasting Room and other non-Descendents things take a lot of your time still, or is Descendents a primary focus?
Well, at the point when Milo kind of took the leap to make it his main focus, I moved it back to the front of the line, which is where it really always had been. But there was maybe a 8 or 10 year period where the production work was maybe in the front of the line, kind of out of necessity though, because all we get paid like $300 a show or something, and it's like I can't. I have kids,
Right.
so I started doing just a tremendous amount of engineering and producing because I could actually. Well, there was two things. One is I didn't want to be an absentee parent, so when I had kids, I also made a conscious decision to like try to stay home a little more and be with my kids during their formative years. But also, all just couldn't support us, But Descendants can. So I'm not producing as many records. I produce like a handful of records each year, and I mix another different handful of records each year, and that's I like it that way. Like my ideal thing is where I'm splitting my time between drumming, songwriting, and engineering and producing, where I'm splitting my time between all those. That would be my ideal thing. But I've always had this problem with the songwriting where it's just really, really slow for me to finish songs or for me to show them to people. I don't know what you call it. They have terms for this stuff where you could say, well, I'm a perfectionist, but that's bullshit. Everybody is a perfectionist and everybody wants to do a good job. Or, well, I have imposter syndrome, like it's never good enough. I don't know what it is, but it's just like a lot of times when I'll finish a song and I'll go, well, what would Cole Porter think of this? What would whoever
Fuck
think of
Cole
it?
Porter. No, I'm just
What would Paul Westerberg think of it? Okay, how about that? And so then I get hung up, and that's always been a problem for me. It's like I hold myself to higher standards than I'm capable of producing. How about that?
Porter would say, Cole Porter would say, "What is this noise you playing in here that you call music?"
So you probably have dozens, maybe hundreds of songs or ideas that are almost done, or
me personally, there's like maybe 75 things that are like things that I think they're interesting enough to be a thing, but sometimes it's just a chorus, or sometimes it's just like a strong riff and a verse, or sometimes it's a verse and a chorus, but not a bridge or an intro, or sometimes it's a whole complete song, but that like Luna should be playing and not Descendants, or it's a whole complete song that some other band should be playing and not Descendants. I like the older I get, I write a lot of like big lumbering halftime riffs, almost like the kind of thing that Rise Against will have a fast song, but then when they go into the chorus, it'll be a big lumbering halftime chorus. I write a lot of stuff in halftime, even though I'm not a good drummer at halftime. So I mean, I can't even play drums on them. I write them on guitar and bass and sing them with the click, and then I try to play drums over them, and I'm like, nope, wrong guy. Need Bill Ward. Bill Ward needs to play on this, not me.
So how close are we to hearing some new Descendants songs?
We have to put a record out next year. I'm going to blow my brains out. That's it. So we'll make it happen.
2026.
Yeah, we have to, or I'm going to shoot myself. Those guys are all going to kill me too, because they all have we already have like 25 songs recorded, but it's all those guys' ones.
Well, not Carl either. He's got to pitch in, but I know he's got songs too. But yeah.
All right. So a lot of these are already recorded.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone else's is recorded, but Bill, you're still kind of crafting yours.
Well, not Carl's too. not
Okay.
Carl's too.
All right.
Stefan and I wrote some songs together. Like he wrote the musics and I'd come in and like write lyrics for his songs, for his musics. And that was like a real fun experiment for me to just be like, oh, cool, here's this great, because Stefan writes this great music and I just have to kind of flesh it out with lyrics. We did about
You did that a lot on All Descendants All, and
all
also on Enjoy too.
enjoy. Yeah.
You wrote
Yeah.
lyrics for stuff that either
Yeah, but
Doug or
I
I wrote music
yeah,
for.
because we'd gotten away from that, or at least we got away from it maybe on, the last Everything Sucks and Cool to Be You, just because of, I was kind of like inserting myself into a preformed equation basically for those. But I mean, I think that's when I feel like most fulfilled is when we can write a song that we, do as a team, or if not a team, at least as a duo, like people that collaborate together and write music. And so the songs I did with Stefan I really enjoyed those. And then Stefan wrote his own songs with lyrics because he can write a lyric. And then I wrote my own songs with lyrics. So between all that, we have like Bill said, like 25 songs that we tracked. But that's just kind of sitting there waiting for the other two members. Because, the Descendents never have operated as anything other than four dudes who are putting everything out there, as four dudes creatively. And that's never going to change.
Have you guys taken any of those songs, maybe not the ones that Bill has, but the ones that have already been tracked? Have you snuck any of them into a live set at any point?
We actually haven't yet for whatever reason.
I almost
It's like we could work them up at Soundcheck, but our sound checks are dedicated to like the Germs and the Adolescence and X and Fear and stuff. Our sound checks are dedicated to us playing the most stupid covers that are fun for us.
yeah.
It's so funny what the stuff we play at Soundcheck.
So remember that uke show I did, Bill? I almost snuck in one of Stefan's and my songs into that uke show just because I really like playing on uke. But
You're talking about In the Way.
Yeah.
Because In the Way is the one you like the most from that, I think.
And that's the one that I like to play, yeah, for sure. So hopefully that one can see the light of day someday.
How can a civilian like myself be able to hear some of these covers? I'd love to hear what you guys are doing.
We do them at Soundcheck. It's so funny. We don't do them. We just do them for us. I think it's a way of sanitizing the stage, because sometimes now we play in these big venues, and we're up there, and at least I'm up there, and I'm like, wait, this feels weird. Like, remember when that corporation bought Wayne's World and they were all weirded out by it?
Yeah.
I get weirded out, and one way that I can sanitize the stage is if we play really trashy covers for a while. It somehow it removes all the pomp and circumstance from the stage, and it just feels like we're in our garage.
We're trying to, what we're doing is christening the stage with punk rock, basically, at that point.
Yeah, making it less formal, less of like I can't get it out of my head. Our band is just supposed to be in a little carpeted room. I'll never not see our band like that ever.
So it's you feel a little displaced being alongside,
but we can do it like
and...
we play the one song. Milo, who does Cowboy and Indian Scene?
I can't remember. That's your and Stefan's thing.
Is it the Slivers or the Plebes or?
It's not Artless Entanglements. No,
that's Spot.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we play covers by stuff that we don't even know the name of the bands. Yeah.
And are they different a lot of the time? Like, different dates, you have different songs. It's just whatever the mood feels like?
It's whatever we feel like. Someone will go into something and everyone will just climb on it, even though nobody knows how to play it.
Yeah, it's pretty sketch sometimes.
Yeah, it's great.
At least for me, I can dial up the lyric on my phone. Okay, let's go into Modern Machine. I'll just dial up the lyric. So
Okay. All right. Well, I'd love to put this out in the universe at some point, live stream some of these or something so the rest of us could hear. I'd love to hear you guys take on Richie Dagger's crime or things like
Well,
that.
we
Blitz
played the entire Germs album.
in '87,
In '87, we played a show where we played the entire Germs album.
and that
It
was
was our
it.
friend. It was a party for a friend of ours, and we played the whole Germs album. Yes, indeed.
No. There's no tapes of that anywhere, I imagine.
Nah, we lose for like posterity or
Documented.
capturing the special thing that happened. We don't do any of that right.
Shit. All right. Well, the chances of us in Australia being able to hear that is near zero. I don't know. How about international touring? You guys are doing a lot in the U.S. Any chances you'll make it out this way at any point?
Yeah, I bet you. I bet you it'll be after the record though. So last time we were down there, it was super cool.
Yeah. Good crowds here. They love you.
We had a great time on that last time we were down there. It was Australia and Japan, and it just went really well. A couple of years back, we went to China.
Which cities?
I don't know. Milo?
Shanghai. Yeah, we went to Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou. Is that
Guangzhou, yeah.
place, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It weren't. So it was just a handful of places.
It was 4.
Were there
Yeah.
big crowds? Did they know the music?
Oh, yeah. These were, I'd say by our typical standards, they were smaller, but the people that showed up were having a ton of fun.
Yeah, it was like punk club size, not like big, huge venues.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When we played Beijing, the minister of culture was there, and he in the opening band, the drummer took off his shirt and played shirtless, and he got in trouble from the minister of culture who showed
Wait,
up.
for real?
Yeah. They said they told him you need to go put your shirt back on.
What's a minister of culture? Do we
That's
have a thing like that here?
No.
We don't even have culture, let alone minister of culture.
Yeah. Well, the problem is the minister of culture only allows you to have this very narrow view, narrow type of culture. If you consider culture to be beyond the bounds of some very narrow perspective, then that's not culture to them. But yeah, he had to put his shirt back on.
Harsh.
Remember, we had to send them all the lyrics to all of our songs so that they could review them before we played.
Yeah, like all of the songs that we intended to play on the tour, we had to send the government the lyrics so they
Yeah.
could say whether or not that song was legal to be played in China.
Did any come back with question marks or?
They didn't.
Okay.
But I think someone had a great time reading the lyrics of Wiener Schnitzel or whatever, what are these guys doing?
Yeah, but Tony made it gross. Like it was supposed to say ketchup.
Yeah. He had to throw in the masturbation reference.
Yeah, my version wasn't dirty because they would always ask you if you wanted ketchup in the bag,
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how closely they read the lyrics or anything, because right before his passing, Andy Gill took Gang of Four over to China. And there it is right there in the band name. So,
Right.
So yeah, I don't think they were reading it too closely. So in terms of other projects, Flag recently at Punk Rock Bowling, is that going to stay a one-off? Do you think we'll ever see a reincarnation of Flag at a wider scale, Bill?
I expect kind of more isolated things, maybe do a weekend or do a festival, that kind of thing. I can't see us like doing like touring, but I like doing it every once in a while. It's good fun, and those are some of my oldest friends in the world. So it's a very natural thing for me to do. Like it's kind of home. It's home to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other weekend where half the world was looking at Black Sabbath's final performance, that was my reaction to when Flag was at Punk Rock Bowling. So hopefully it's not another 9 years before we see you guys together again.
No, we're gonna try to do a couple festivals next year.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know what yet though.
Okay.
And
Australia.
All's playing this weekend. All's playing this weekend in Canada.
Oh
Where's
yeah.
Yeah,
that?
yeah, we're playing in Tillsonburg, Canada, which apparently there's a song called Tillsonburg, but I don't know who does it. But Carl played it for me yesterday morning at practice. I mean, he played the original version of it.
Who's on vocals for All?
Well, we're going to do one show with Scott on vocals and one show with Chad on vocals, like on 2 different nights.
Okay.
So we'll cover about 45 songs, maybe 22 or so with each dude. So it'll be comprehensive.
Fantastic. All right. Well, that's exciting.
Oh yeah, and Milo came up and practiced with us the All songs, and he knew about 2/3 of them. I would say it was pretty cool.
I mean, All was my favorite band. When the Descendents were around, I would go see All. So I know all this stuff.
Hey, were there times where you stepped in, or would you step in for some All vocals, or do you feel
He stepped in New Jersey, in the New York area, we had a huge show, sold out. But Chad lost his voice, so Milo came in and just sang the All show, and we played some Descendant songs too. Nobody knew it was going to happen. It wasn't like make a big deal out of it. It was like I called him up and I go, Chad lost his voice. Can you come sing? And he's like, yeah, I'll get there. Yeah.
That was 93, I think, or
something like that. Yeah. City Gardens.
94, 95.
Yeah. It probably ended up being like half All, half Descendants, something like that.
Are you guys still connected with Tony Lombardo?
I talked to Tony for an hour yesterday on the phone. I mean, yeah, Tony's, he's one of our best friends, oldest friends.
Mm-hmm. Does he ever get up and play a couple songs with the band?
It's been a while. We did that thing where we played those 2 Riot Fests, and we played the whole Milo Goes to College album with him on bass. That's been like coming up on 10 years ago. No, it's been a while since I think he's officially retired from bass.
Okay. Will there be any live activity or anything to celebrate the reissue of Milo Goes to College? Anything special planned for that?
I don't know. I mean, I can hit Tony up, but I think he's kind of in a different space now. I don't think he really wants to play punk rock bass or any bass. I don't know.
Guys, again, I'm very excited about the reissue campaign of all the Descendant stuff. Sounds like there's going to be some All reissues coming up. And the fact that you guys just keep going strong is really encouraging. I mean, you guys are truly one of my favorite, most beloved bands. When you guys stop, I will probably weep like I did the day Johnny Cash died, because you guys mean so much.
Well, do us a favor. If you see us and we're just up there and it's seeming like feeble and like we're not pulling it off, you be sure to tell us, because we don't want to be that band. Like I want to be better now than I've ever been before. So that's a big reason why I stay motivated to stay strong, is just so that I don't suck on drums.
Do you feel yourself slowing down on drums? I mean, it's quite physical.
I combat it with just unmentionable amounts of coffee that you shouldn't even be spoken aloud. Milo can tell you. I mean, it's. I'm not joking. Yeah, it's no joke. It's no joke. I mean, yeah. Because it's like those eighth notes coming at you, 210 beats a minute, eighth notes. That's no walk in the park. So, but so I got to drink like a million coffees.
I was listening to an Evan Dando solo album not long ago, and then I heard, that ride sounds really familiar. Look at the back, Bill Stevenson, of course.
But it was the Lemonheads album, right? The pink one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I played drums on that, and I engineered it, produced it, and I also wrote 3 songs on it.
Yeah, it was so distinctive. It's like, I know that right hand.
Well, there's the one thing I do, which is that kind of like Latin influenced surf beat. It's a surf beat, but it kind of works in 3s, So that's the telltale sign, I think.
Carl's on that record too. He's playing bass on that record. So
yeah, Carl played the bass on that.
It's like the rhythm section of the Descendents and All.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably an even bigger telltale sign. Yeah, it's Carl.
Yeah, that engine room felt very familiar. So,
Oh, right. The engine room, right.
so you guys have Milo Goes to College being reissued on vinyl. Are you guys still into vinyl? Is vinyl important to you guys? Do you still buy it or anything?
I do vinyl. I do vinyl, but I don't out here in Colorado, I don't have a turntable. But I went out and bought records the other day without even having a turntable play on it. So I'm
Okay.
that guy. I'm that guy
Where'd
of
you go? Where did you go to buy them?
Longmont. There's a record store in Longmont.
Have
Um,
you been to Wax Tracks in Denver? I mean,
no.
we did an
Oh,
in
yeah.
store there like 4 million
Yeah.
years
I
ago.
mean, I've been there not in the recent past, but yeah, Wax Tracks down there, yeah. But that's how much of like a vinyl junkie you can be. Is like you buy records without any way to play them.
Just to look at them.
Yeah. Or like someday when I get that record player, I'll be able to play this record. Yeah.
Do you have plans to get your record player fixed or get a new record player?
I'm just gonna have to pick. I'm gonna have to pick one out and then and yeah, start playing it because my record player's in Delaware, but I just didn't bring it out.
You may find one at a garage sale or something like that to bring home.
Yeah, yeah,
Is that
yeah.
okay? Very good. So what did you buy?
This really obscure shoes. The band Shoes.
I've heard of them.
Shoes is like a early power pop band from the mid to late 70s, and I didn't realize that they had this thing that they did before their what I thought was their first record. There's this thing before that, and I'm like, either this is like totally fake or this is the undiscovered first Shoes record, so I had to buy it, and now it's just sitting there and I got to play it sometime. So.
Okay. You got a big collection growing in Colorado?
Not in Colorado yet, but I have some vinyl here that has just been is waiting for a turntable. Most of my vinyl's back in Delaware because I was splitting my time. Yeah, so.
I gave all my records to my friends, back when that would have been the seemingly right thing to do, but at looking back, it was pretty stupid. I gave all my records to my friends, and I haven't bought any
Do you miss
new
them?
ones.
Do you miss playing records?
No, I don't. But it partly is because I don't have a record player. If I had a record player and like a lot of free time, because it seems like all I do is work. It's all I do is work from the moment I wake up till I go to bed. But if I had free time and a turntable, I could get down with. So I used to like that after school, like come home after school, put a record on, and then like sit on your bed, right? Sit on it with your legs on the floor, and then open up the album, and then kind of like lay back on your bed and look at the album, look at the insert, look at who did what. There's an accordion on this song. Weird. And the guy from Kiss played accordion. Oh, crazy. I used to like to do that, but I don't like it enough to, to forfeit the convenience of just having like 90,000 million songs at one tap of my finger away.
Yeah.
For
Like, I
me,
think they both really have a good
yeah,
purpose.
I think for me, when I'm on tour, I really like just seeing what's the local record store. It becomes a diversion, like I could go to the museum there's all these different activities that you do with your downtime. And one of mine is to check out the local record store if it exists. And if it does exist, then you kind of celebrate a little mini victory because shouldn't record stores still exist, And so I go in and I'll buy a record or two, and then I feel like, like it's just my way. It's my way of just kind of still being able to kind of support the vinyl music industry or whatever, just having a way of killing some time while I'm on tour, and hopefully I don't plop down hundreds of dollars. I just do it as a way of just kind of, it's that activity, just going to the music store and thumbing through the bins and just, you find something that you wouldn't have expected or something that you couldn't.
Man, you remember how stoked we would get. I don't know if you were this way too, but to go to Zed Records was
Mhm.
like a big thing.
It was a whole trek. Yeah.
It was a field trip, and it was like
Yeah.
Oh
Pilgrimage.
man, what do they have? What do they have? It's like you just bought whatever they had that was new because it was
Yeah, and a lot of 45s, a lot of just
a
little
lot of 45s.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
stuff you couldn't get anywhere else.
I always
So
like being in when you find a local record shop, it's in the neighborhood of a lot of other cool stuff too. Like there's a good burrito place, there's a good coffee spot. You know, a lot of those businesses tend to kind of be in a same geographic area, same neighborhood.
Yeah, that's way true. Like there's that one little neighborhood in Minneapolis where there was that great record store and a great like vegetarian restaurant, and it was like everything a guy could want on tour was right there in that one little block.
yeah,
I don't know where
well,
that was.
it was walking distance from First Avenue for sure.
No, I'm talking
No,
about a whole different thing.
oh,
It's
not
a
the
whole
one.
different area.
All right.
I don't know how to explain how to get there.
So you're still kind of getting some records here or there, Milo. Is there any sort of records you're looking for? Any holy grails or something you'd love to own that you don't right now?
I mean, I always look for the last records, but they're hard to find, I mean, and the thing is, you can, some of that last stuff you can just get online. But I just, if I were to ever come across the last record, I would just, eat it. It would eat it up, you know.
You'd have to buy it out of principle,
Yeah, just buy it up simple, yeah. But if I come across anything LA punk related, I end up buying it. Even if like, I could just easily just listen to it on Spotify. It's like, no, some of the stuff too I had when I was younger. I had vinyl of it when I was younger, and it just like disappeared. Like I brought it to a party and then left it, or like someone stole it or whatever. And like I had to replace my ex Los Angeles record, and I had to. There's like a whole bunch of records that I had to replace. The TS, and some of those records too. Like when I would listen to them, I remembered listening to them growing up and realizing, well, after the fact, many years later, realizing I don't own that record. That was Jeff's record, or that was Roger's record. That was not one that I owned. So then if I see it now, it's like, no, I want to own that record. I was always borrowing it from somebody else, So a lot of it's that, just kind of like fleshing out my collection, because it was probably 90% of the music I listened to back then, I just would listen to at someone else's house. And it's like, so I have these like certain LA punk records. I can put those on and know exactly where I was when I was listening to them. And it wasn't in my room, in my basement or whatever. It was over at Jeff's house, or it was over at Roger's house, or it was over at Bill's house. First time I heard Husker Du in a Free Land was in Bill's bedroom. So if I ever come across,
wait, is that true?
Yeah. You had Husker Du in a Free Land. That was probably the first Husker Du I heard, was in a Free Land.
Whoa, crazy.
Yeah, in your bedroom.
And I think I still have Trevor Dorline's Police album. I borrowed it and I just kept it.
Oh, his not Police Story, but the
Police album,
the
like
album,
the first Police album, and I just borrowed it and never gave it back because it's too good to give it back. It's mine now.
Yeah.
That's the one record
I'm
you
sure
have.
Either he doesn't know or he doesn't miss it.
No, he knows. Every time I see him.
Yeah.
Even friends of his will ask me about it. It's like, okay, I'll get away. I'm not giving it back.
Yeah.
So, all right, gentlemen. Well, again, it's an absolute pleasure spending time with you. Congrats on the upcoming reissues. Great to see you guys both on your hind legs. And we look forward to you guys continuing to tour. Hopefully we'll hear some covers at some point. Again, I'm putting that in the universe. Maybe you guys will share some of that glimpse into those sound checks. Again, thanks for your time, and hopefully we'll see you down under at some point. Otherwise, you're going to make me get on a plane to see you guys in North America, which is not out of the question.
All right.
Yeah, thanks.
See you guys.
All right, see you.
That was fun. Got tense for a little bit, but that was fun overall. Look, I understand there are boundaries that need to be drawn, certain things that, they can't talk about, at least at this moment. So, I asked, I checked if that door was open, and indeed it was locked. Maybe one day we'll get to hear a little bit more about that. But anyway, the bottom line is make sure you get in your pre-order for Milo Goes to College at orgmusic.com. I suggest if they're still available, make sure to grab one of those punk note versions. Those are always very cool. Anyways, that's it for this episode of The Vinyl Guide. Thank you so much for tuning in. Those of you who are leaving positive reviews on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and everyone who's sharing these episodes on social media, putting them on Reddit forums and Facebook groups, well, that is hugely appreciated. We'll be back shortly with a brand new episode. So you guys behave yourselves, and thanks again for listening to The Vinyl Guide podcast. Cheers.